Hey guys, welcome back to another match review video. This is honestly the closest I've ever cut it. I totally dropped the ball. I forgot to do a match review because I had my FPL video yesterday. So in my mind, it was kind of like done, and I'm not used to Chelsea playing so early. But I have to say, I kind of like it. I prefer it to the late kickoffs because those 9 p.m. for me kickoffs, I was just so tired by the end of it. And I'm excited that it's like at a normal time now. So I'm joined by my really good friend, Jay. We're going to basically talk about the Leeds Chelsea game, preview it a little bit. The lineup should be coming out in about 10 minutes or so. So we're also going to react to the lineup and talk about how we think that Chelsea are going to play, etc., etc. I thought that it could be a fun change of content for this game. So Jay, thanks so much for joining me. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. Your background's really nice as well. I need to level up on the background here. It looks really nice, your apartment at the moment. But yeah, I'm good. I'm really excited. I've got 3 streams today, so I'm a busy boy. Plus, I've got an essay to write for my master's as well. So I've got a load of things to do, but I'm happy to be here. I'm excited for the game as well. So yeah, let's go.
That's insane. I don't know how you do it. Yeah, I'm able to change the background because my husband is rock climbing outside, so I don't have to be in the bedroom, so it looks a little bit nicer, plus the lighting is better. So I'm kind of happy about that. So looking at this Leeds game, there's a lot of history with this game. How are you feeling going into it? Are you feeling confident knowing that Chelsea haven't lost under Tuchel yet?
Yeah, I guess so. It's going to be really interesting as well, just to see how we cope with another different challenge. I think what I've liked about the run of games since Tuchel's been here has been that, as you know, in comparison to the 17 game unbeaten streak that we went with Lampard, we played against teams under Lampard, I think, that were very, very similar in the way they approached the game. Whereas under Tuchel, it seems as though every different side that we've played, United, Atletico, Liverpool, Everton, now Leeds, they all approach the game in slightly different ways, and that comes down to being managed by superior coaches for the most part anyway. Maybe not Ollie, but United is still an effective side. So Bielsa, I think he's one of the best coaches in world football, and it's going to be interesting to see how the boys can cope with being consistently pressed for 90 minutes. That's why I reckon Jorginho will probably play, if I'm honest.
Interesting.
Because I reckon the Tuchel's plan will be to dictate playing and control the ball and play through the press rather than trying to be combative. And I think Kante will probably make an appearance at some point, but I'd be quite surprised if he starts. It'd be nice though. A Kante Jorginho pivot I think would be effective. Kovacic obviously good at breaking the press, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I don't know if Pulisic is going to start either.
Yeah, now that you say, I do think Jorginho is going to start, not only for that reason, but also because he's suspended against Atletico midweek, right? So it would just make sense that he plays this game so that you can rest somebody else, probably Kante, for that Atletico game. And yeah, I remember in the reverse fixture, I was really, really impressed with how quickly Leeds were moving the ball, how quickly they were pressing us. And I thought that they looked like the better side for a large majority of the game. So it's going to be interesting because I think like a massive talking point with Tuchel and his philosophy is his counter pressing that he implements. So whenever Chelsea don't have the ball, they try to press very quickly and as a unit to close down the space and to try to win the ball back. So I think that that's going to be something that we could see. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects the Leeds side, but they're just like so good. And I'm always a little bit nervous for the game, but so I wanted to ask you. You mentioned Pulisic. He's the only player who has yet to get a start in the Premier League under Tuchel. I think besides Emerson, and somebody pointed out on Twitter today that it looked like Emerson might be starting this game because he posted like "Come on, you Blues" on his stories, and they're like he doesn't usually do this unless he's starting. So what do you think about Pulisic still not getting a chance under Tuchel, given that the likes of Zuma found himself out, he's gotten a chance, Kai Havertz has now, Ziyech has, everybody except Pulisic? What's going on?
I mean, I'm not really worried about this, and everyone else seems to be crying about it. I've spoken about it as well. Like, he's made of glass, and he just needs to be, managed carefully. I was going to say, I was assuming it's about Ellie, that one. I'm assuming it's about Ellie. I've still got a long way to go.
Yeah, definitely about you.
Yeah, I don't know. it's tough. Did you watch Tuchel's press conference yesterday?
No, I didn't get a chance. I was working.
So I managed to catch it late last night, and what he was saying is, how much he likes Christian off the bench, how much he's still a part of his plans, but that Pulisic also needs to understand and process and then maintain the mentality and understanding of the fact that when you sign up to a club like Chelsea, it's not like being at Dortmund. It's a big club, and you come here to compete, and everyone in the team is doing the exact same. And you could make a very strong argument today that there are players that perhaps would be more effective against Leeds than Pulisic. I mean, on the flip side, Pulisic is a seriously impressive player, but he's obviously been struggling with form. But I don't know. I just think he needs time, because it's not just making sure he's recovered and fit. It's making sure that he's built additional strength on top of those injuries in order to prevent the repetitive injuries happening. Because, from a commercial standpoint, Pulisic has already been a success at Chelsea, but he needs to translate that onto the pitch more consistently. Obviously, he's got 21, 22 goal involvements in however many games, 34, 35 games, which is seriously impressive. But, Werner's a problem, and his finishing's been off, but he causes teams a serious issue. And Werner today will be effective against Leeds, I have no doubt. Mount, I don't think anyone gets in the team. Mount's the first name on the team sheet, obviously. Yeah. Kai Havertz has to start based off a last performance. Yeah. So, where do you fit? Because Pulisic is not a wing back. He played right wing back briefly at Dortmund, very, very sparsely as well. And he's just not very effective there, because he's better driving and shooting. Whereas you look at Hudson-Odoi, for example, he can adapt better because, in my opinion as well, he's a far better creator and a ball dribbler than he is a goal scorer, whereas Pulisic is a far better goal scorer. So it's just about time. He's not the only one that's struggling for minutes and regularity and fitness, but that's just the way it is. I mean, are you concerned?
Not really, to be honest. Maybe in this system, it's a little concerning because I don't see exactly where he fits in. Because I think that Kai Havertz looked really strong in that false nine up top with Timo, and they had a really good understanding and connection of each other. That's only one game, right? Like, I would still like to see many more games. It's an extremely small sample size, but I really liked what I saw. And then I do think that in that 10 role, Mason Mount is probably going to start. But I think that Pulisic could play either of those positions. And like we've seen under Tuchel, I don't think he's had the same starting 11 in the entire time that he's been the Chelsea manager. So Chelsea have a lot of games. The fixtures are going to be coming up hot and heavy as well. So I do think that perhaps we could see Pulisic in one of those positions. And the other thing is, I think maybe until the end of the season, we'll see this formation, but we could potentially see it change next season. And if we go to a back four, we could definitely see Pulisic getting in as well. I do. Can I
jump in there?
Yeah.
Like, do you want to see us go back to a four at the back? Because I personally, I love a three at the back. Like, I have a very, very strong appreciation for three at the back. Like, I've always loved Inter Milan, and when they play a three at the back, and they have done over history, they haven't, they didn't under Mourinho, but they do under Conte now. And a back three is really effective, and it allows for the majority of our good players to play in the right place. Do you know what I mean?
No, I know. For me, like, I like the formation, but sometimes I feel like it can be a little bit too defensive, and we're seeing that we're combating that by trying to play more attacking players in the wing back roles. But like we've seen, Chelsea have only been scoring on average like 1 goal per game under Tuchel, and I think that if you play a back four, you can take out a defensive player and put in a more attacking minded player, and then maybe you get some more goals as well. But I do understand that we look a lot stronger right now currently with the back three. But I don't know. I'm not like married to the idea. I would like to see a back four and just see how we play in that system. For example, like if we're playing against a team where we're going to have the majority of the ball and it's a low block, I don't think we need to play in a back three. I just don't. I don't think we need that extra defender. So I'd like to see a couple of different formations, but I don't know. Yeah, it's really.
I hear you. Like, I hear you. It's just I've always liked the I've liked the back three, especially when you get the wing back options correct, because it is 2 extra defenders, but if it's done right with the right people, it's also 2 extra attackers. And you only need to see what Dortmund were doing last season with Hakimi on one wing and Raf Guerrero on the other, and that is devastatingly attacking. It's frightening, and Inter Milan do it now because Hakimi's over there, and I hear you though. I think when Reece James plays, obviously we're slightly less forward going because he looks like he's struggling to cross the ball in terms of have confidence and conviction that someone's going to get on the end of it, because they don't typically, and also it makes very little sense to cross the ball into Werner and Hudson-Odoi and Mount. So I can understand why Hudson-Odoi plays there, but I'm seeing some of the comments. Formations are fluid, and I think it'll be totally fine. But just waiting for the announcement. I keep seeing Hajir's stupid comments.
Formations are fluid, but like we've seen, the center backs aren't necessarily as attacking minded as you would have if you had another attacking player like a Pulisic or Ziyech on the pitch as well. But I don't know. I'm happy with how Chelsea are playing, so I don't, why fix what's not broken. But it's just something that would be interesting to see from my perspective as well. Oh my God, you guys are giving me so much love today. I feel like so loved. Thank you so much. I think Jay and I both agree that Havertz has to start, and it will be really interesting to see. I think that since Leeds play such a high line and they tend to play quite open, I like that they respect the opponent. I think in that sense that they have their style and they're committed to playing attacking football. But I do think that Kai Havertz could be absolutely dangerous against Leeds. What about you?
See, I think this is weird. Like, do you remember under Sarri? Everyone used to get pissed off because he would stick to his principles. But then when it's someone else, a different team, everyone likes it. Like, I love Bielsa because he refuses to play any other way. And that's why I like Sarri, and that's why I like Conte, because they stick to their principles and believe in their own vision. And it seems Chelsea fans, don't typically like that. They like the fluidity and the ability to change. But whilst I'm here, do you want me to read out the lineup for today?
Oh, you have it.
Or do you want to read it? It's your channel.
Let me see if I can share my screen or something. I'm sure everybody already has
You're gonna be very, very chuffed.
It's Chuff Go. Pulisic starts! Yes! Yes!
I think it looks like is this a back four?
Let me see if I can share my screen, you guys.
I think this is a back four,
No fucking way. Can you guys see it all right? Can you see my screen? Hello? Jay, can you see it?
Yes, sorry. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Mendy, Aspilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger, Chilwell. This is a back four.
Yeah, it's a back four.
Conte starts. That's interesting. Mount, Ziyech, Havertz, Pulisic. I'm so happy I have you on because I feel like there's so much to digest here. There's so much. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now.
Yeah, there's an awful lot to take in there, right?
I'm really glad that we got my reaction about Pulisic starting. I'm going to clip that up.
Clip it. Yeah, clip it.
So we know that Pulisic starts. How big of a game is this for him now?
It's huge. It's huge because he has to perform, because his performances have been weak. In the last 10, 15 performances, they've not been that amazing. Yeah. Because he is someone, when they're in the side, they are expected to contribute directly to goals. That's his role. He's not just like a dribbler. He is meant to be getting involved primarily with goals and assists, particularly goals. So I think it's good he's playing. He's just gone for pace in Pulisic, obviously, which is nice. He's gone for defensive solidity. Kante makes total sense as well, which is good. I'm happy that's there. Mount obviously is going to be busy. Is it Ziyech? Ziyech's playing, yeah?
Ziyech's playing as well. Yeah, so it's Aspilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger, Chilwell, which is interesting that in a back four as well, we're seeing Christensen and Rudiger. So I really want to see how Christensen performs in this back four, because I think he's looked amazing in the back three. But I do like Zuma in a back four, so I
like Zuma in a back four as well. I would have gone Christensen, Zuma, but Rudiger's been brilliant, to be fair, recently. So
I think Zuma just gives you like more height, especially on set pieces. When he was playing in the other game, I think it was Everton, I don't remember. Like we saw that when we are taking corners, that the corners were kind of being directed to Zuma, and he just can jump so high. And I think that he kind of gives you somebody to aim at. And I haven't really seen us as effective on corners since Zuma hasn't been playing. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. But that's bound to be the case. Shall we address the comments that are coming through in magnitude, which is Pulisic is right wing back? I mean,
What?
Obviously, again, you don't actually know that until the players come out on the pitch.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ellie and I can find someone that can give us greater clarity. But Pulisic at a right wing back. Okay, I'm
Could
down.
be interesting as well.
I'm definitely down to see how that works.
But then, or he could be at left wing back, and because we have Azpilicueta on, and I don't think Azpilicueta would play left wing back.
No, he wouldn't.
Chilwell's on.
Chilwell will play left wing back if that's what we play. But obviously, Omar's just said that it's a back four on the fifth stand up. So
Chilwell,
I expect formations to change throughout the game.
Interesting.
Do you know what I mean? Ziyech is the one I'm quite interested about, to be honest.
Yeah. So do you think it would be? I've seen like Mount has been playing further up the pitch as well. Like I was looking on who scored, and you can kind of see like the positions that they occupy throughout the game. And Mount has actually been playing sometimes above Timo in the team. He's been playing really, really far forward. So I really don't see how that front. If it's a back five, then it's Mount, Ziyech, Havertz, or Havertz, Mount, Ziyech. Or no, Ziyech, Mount Havertz.
I think it's going to be a back four, isn't it? It's going to be a 4-2-3-1, I reckon, or 4-3-3, probably a 4-3-3. But
4-3-3.
Weird. I like it because what has happened is Bielsa evidently. Have you seen any sort of videos on Bielsa or read any sort of long form articles about him? So basically, when he got the job at Leeds, he basically put together like a 400-page document essentially saying how he can improve the club. And obviously he's done it. And he very, very, he microanalyzes the way that opposition teams play. So for Tuchel to switch up formation and play players that you don't necessarily expect to be there sometimes, I think that is going to slightly confuse Bielsa, or at least that's the attempt anyway. Bielsa's a good enough manager to switch up and make things, strong and decent that way. But it's definitely an interesting play from Tuchel for sure. It's going to be it's nice to see tactical battles coming from the Chelsea dugout again because, no disrespect to Lampard, but he's not a tactician.
Absolutely. And Rico Perez makes a very good point that is
that pronunciation. Come on, Rico Perez.
I have totally butchered it. So, but he makes a very good point that it's a fluid team. All of the attackers can interchange as well. But I think that's what makes it so interesting, right? That we're sitting here not sure what the formation is. Is it a back four? Is it a back five with Pulisic at right wing back? Where do the other players fit into this? So I'm really, really excited to see what the formation is going to be. And I don't know. I'm just even more excited for this game. And how good do you think that Tuchel's been tactically since taking over? Because I really like that if something's not working for Chelsea, he addresses it immediately and he'll take somebody off at halftime if they're not playing well. What do you think about that?
For fear of hyperbole, I think Tuchel's been the second best tactician in the Premier League and he's only been here 11 games.
Wow.
I think obviously Pep's been just untouchable, but I think the way Tuchel has been able to, develop and implement his plan instantly, that is pretty amazing, to be honest. So it's an interesting one. I'm excited now because it's a little bit different. It's nice to see these Chelsea teams a little bit unpredictable because we've been so used to being able to basically call the side for the last 2-3 years, maybe who's going to play. So this is fun for fans. It makes football actually fun, which is what it's meant to be. Do you know what I mean? It's not meant to be so sort of serious sometimes, I think. But no Kovacic in midfield 3 as well. That's interesting. I get why he's not there as well.
I think
But
Kovacic is going to start against Atletico as well. Like we have that
where we
game.
don't have Mount, do we? We don't have Mount or
We don't have
Jorginho.
Mount. Yeah. So there's like a lot of dogs barking. Hadir goes, Jay, you try that pronunciation.
Rico Perez.
Oh, that is actually really good.
Hey, there we go. There we go.
Saeed said, I think we're playing back 4 because of Leeds' attacking threat. Jack Jones says, I'm just going off what Simon, Carefree, and Nazar on Twitter all think Pulley right wing back. Not saying that's true, just saying what I'm seeing. Yeah, I'm obviously not on Twitter right now, so it's good to have you guys double check that for us. That would be, so if they're saying it, I don't know, those are pretty credible sources, so we might see a back 5 then.
Yeah, I trust Sai for sure, as well as, you know, Nizar. Carefree, I chat to him a lot as well, but obviously Sai and Nizar, I'll hear it straight from the horse's mouth. So yeah. That is weird. That's weird.
So,
then Pulisic
right,
is the
let's try to sort this
really
out.
Weird.
Let's try to talk it out. So back 5, Chilwell, Rudiger.
It'll be Chilwell, Rudy, Christensen, Aspi, Puli,
Pulisic, Conte.
Yeah, Jorginho.
And then 3, Mount, Ziyech, Havertz.
Yeah, and I think when we attack, it will go to a 4-2-4. And then when we defend, it'll go to a 5-3-2.
Yeah, I think Pulisic's probably going to be playing really high up the pitch. It'll be interesting to see what Ziyech occupies. Perhaps we would see him in the 10 and Mount.
I hope so. Oh my God, Ziyech needs to be playing in a 10. It is literally unbelievable that he doesn't. I've said this since before he signed. He is perfect for a 10, and they play him out on the right. I just don't rate him out there anywhere near as much. But I think if we focus on what, you know, the sort of big one-on-ones and you know, this game is going to be individual battles. We've got the big one is obviously going to be Rafinha against Chilwell. Because Rafinha is a problem. He's an issue of a player. He was really good in France last season, and he's been on good form for Leeds this season. So I'm excited to see how that goes.
Bamford as well.
Bamford's an issue.
Yeah,
Bamford's an issue. It's going to be Bamford on Christensen, I think. I think Christensen will be fine with that. You know, Bamford's a good player, but he benefits from the system. He's typically been quite rubbish everywhere else he's been besides Middlesbrough. So, you know, if he can be managed out the game, that's a bonus. It's not to say he won't score, because he has scored against us previously.
I was like, of course it's him.
yeah, me too. I was quite bitter about it, to be honest. But anyway, you know, I've seen a comment saying, where's Hudson-Odoi? He'll probably start against Atletico Madrid, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean?
Rico says, can tell you're also Spanish. I'm not Spanish, but my husband's Spanish, and I live in Madrid. So I'm glad that it comes across that way, honestly. Yeah, I think what a lot of us have to remember as well, for this comment show, is that we are playing Atletico Madrid Wednesday, so there isn't that much rest time, just like 4 days, really. So we're also seeing a couple of players rested. I think we have to keep in mind these other fixtures and how we're going to play. Right says, I'm not a massive fan of Ziyech. What is he brought to Chelsea?
Is that for me to answer?
Yeah.
What has he bought so far? You know, very decent creative numbers. If you look at it statistically, he's actually still very impressive, the amount he creates. What he hasn't bought is consistency. That comes with the formation and the change of management. Let's not forget, when new players, when you combine, bring in a load of new players in and then a new manager as well. If you switch management mid-season and your players are trying to integrate, it's just not easy. And he's a victim of the system that Tuchel's playing at the moment, because Tuchel very, very, you know, intelligently identified that what we needed to do was stabilize a sinking ship. And then, you know, and Ziyech is not one of those players typically that does that, because he just doesn't work hard enough in terms of the press, and he doesn't tackle or, you know, anything like that too often. What Ziyech can offer is world-class creativity. He's the best creator in that side on form. So, and that's really no question either. That is actually a fact. So, you know, that's the way he is. And yeah, that's what I think he can bring if he nails down a side, a place in the side. It's just not guaranteed with the quality we have, to be fair.
Yeah, I think he's also, we know that he's been struggling with injuries. He hasn't had all that much game time as well. And when you're in and out of the side with injuries, and then with a new manager, you're playing in positions all over the pitch. It's really hard to find consistency. So I wouldn't necessarily fault him for that. A lot of people are saying, he is in his prime. He should be one of the players that should have adapted a little bit quicker to the Premier League and to Chelsea. But I haven't given up hope on him. I think that there's still a really good player in there, and this could be a really good game. It's going to be an open game, so I think that he's going to have a lot of time on the ball to try to make decisions and create, which is what he does best. Kai Havertz also is going to be there. It's a really attacking-minded side, so I'm really excited. Chinak says, why are we changing the 3-4-3? We need to be solid against Leeds. You might have missed this, but it seems that we could still be playing the 3-4-3 with Pulisic as a right wing back. So we just don't know until we see Chelsea playing, but that's what it's being reported as. I'm just going through the rest of the comments. David, I've seen your message. You don't have to put it like 10 times. It's all right. I'll get to all of them. Like we've been saying, we don't know if we're changing to a back four or not. We just don't know. It seems that we could be playing in a back three still. Yeah, Pulisic, right wing back. He goes, Bielsa, the tactician should be very stressed by our new formation. He wasn't expecting this. And like you said, I think that this is exactly what Tuchel's trying to do. I really like seeing these tactical masterclasses of trying to outsmart the tactician. And I don't know, it should be a very, very interesting game. So before we head off, I want to get, who do you think is going to be the first goal scorer and your score prediction?
Oh, wow. Okay. I think the first goal scorer is going to be Mount, and I think we'll win 2-0.
Cool. Yeah.
What about you?
I think the first goal scorer is going to be Havertz. And I hope that Pulisic gets a goal as well, obviously. And I also predicted 2-0. I'm hoping for more. I would really, really love to see Chelsea win a game by 3 or 4 goals. I feel like it's been so long since we've done that and absolutely dominated a team. So I really want to see that, but I don't know. I think 2-0 is a very reasonable prediction. So let's see. It's going to be a really interesting game. But Jay, thank you so much for joining me. I know you have to hop on another stream soon. So let everybody know where they can find you and your streams.
Yeah, just follow me on Twitter. Just search my name. You'll find it somewhere, Jay Mcintosh. Also, Chelsea Social on YouTube. I'm going to be streaming throughout the whole game with Hajir and Con as well everyone's probably knows Con, I guess, maybe. I don't know. But Con, go on Twitter as well. We're going to be streaming throughout the game. So, yeah, do join us if you fancy some chat and some company whilst you're watching the game. But make sure you've liked and subscribed this video, more importantly than coming to join us, because that's what matters the most.
Yeah, so make sure you guys watch. It's really fun. Hajir is always really loud. Childish
is how I'd say it. He's explosive.
Yeah, so you have the two complete opposites, with Jay being super calm and Hajir off the pot. So it's really a very funny dynamic, guys. So definitely tune into that. And yeah, thanks so much for watching this video. Really enjoyed it. I actually really like this format, so I think I'll probably try to do this more in the future. So if you like the video, make sure to drop it a like, subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna have a lot more cool content coming up. And yeah, hopefully Chelsea can get the win. Until my match review, I'm out.